Today on the channel, fresh from the store, we got the Mattel Elite Raw is War 30th Anniversary Target exclusive 3-pack with The Undertaker, 1-2-3 Kid, and Razor Ramon.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Elite unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got a special one, as we got the Target exclusive 30th anniversary of Monday Night Raw 3-pack. But for all your non-Target exclusive wrestling figure items, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. But very, very timely pack here, because as of January 11th, 1993, as of filming just a couple of days away, that was the debut episode of Monday Night Raw, and I was there for it as a little kid, of course, and I'd been watching Primetime. I got into wrestling right about the start of Primetime, and then I watched every episode of Primetime. It was a Monday staple for me. Monday Night Raw continued that trend. And believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this, I can't believe I'm admitting this to everybody, but I have never missed an episode of Monday Night Raw. Going back to the VCR days, of course, to the modern day, more DVR streaming days, I never missed an episode. Even during the worst of worst times, I am a guy that sticks to traditions. You guys know I put videos out every single day. I just am very, very consistent in life, the things I like to do. And Monday Night Raw, wrestling, a Monday staple for me ever since it began. I could probably count on two hands how many times I didn't even watch Monday Night Raw live, or at least a little bit of tape delay in these days on the DVR so I don't have to watch commercials. But I never missed an episode. And back in the day, let's say 93, 94, 95, if I had to go somewhere, of course I had a VCR tape going. So I've seen every single episode. The week it has been just absolute insanity. SmackDown, I can't say that much because for a while SmackDown wasn't on the air in my area, back in the UPN days, things like that. But Raw, never have missed an episode. So pretty crazy to think about after all these years. But quite the pack we have here. Reminds me back to the old Jax days when we got 3-packs all the time, set packs, things like that. And I guess you could say the Mattel days. There was Target exclusive 4-packs of Mattel, as a lot of us do remember. So I'm hoping this pack leans into that, and going forward, maybe we get a pack like this every year, maybe a couple of them a year, maybe one for every new reset. That would be a great idea. But it is really cool, and this is very, very special packaging. It looks very professional. It looks very cool, and this is by no means, I can easily see people leaving this mint on card, as it is a beautiful display piece, but you don't only get the figures of this one, you also get the Raw entrance stage letters. But of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. So let's start looking at the box on this. Very old school Monday Night Raw, red type colors. It was a great time in Raw, and one of my favorite times in Raw probably was with the Raw letters, Sabu jumping off that. Of course, you guys all remember that moment. When I think of the letters, that's usually what I think of. I'm sure maybe some of you guys think of something differently. But very, very cool pack here. Of course, there's the Raw letters down there. You get the 1-2-3 Kid, you get Razor Ramon, you get The Undertaker, 3 characters, very pivotal to the early introduction of the Raw series, as we do remember. A lot of reuse in this set, but I think it does work, and we'll talk about this with the figures. You got the 3 glamour shots on the side with the Raw logo up there, Elite Collection over there. And then on the back, we get a nice little blurb. We get a glamour shot of all 3. We get the old school WWE style logo, the Elite logo, all that fun stuff. Let's see what it says on the back of the pack here. Welcome, everyone, to Monday Night Raw. And remember Bobby Heenan being thrown out and going off to WCW. Hard times, hard times. On January 11th, 1993, feels like 30 years ago to me, the world was introduced to a show that would change television history, Monday Night Raw. From the first episode featuring The Undertaker in the main event against Damien Demento, if you remember that, to unforgettable moments like 1-2-3 Kid's upset victory over Razor Ramon, the WWE Universe knew they were in for something special every Monday night. 30 years later, Raw is the longest-running weekly show on air today, uncut, and uncensored. Oh boy, how about that? Very, very cool. I'm going to take this offline. I'm going to get everything out of the pack, and we'll be back talking all things 30th Anniversary Monday Night Raw 3-pack. All right, we got the Raw pack out of the box. We got twist ties, all that kind of fun stuff. So it took a little bit of time, but nothing too complicated. There is the background, the tray that it comes in for those keeping track at home. Nothing too real special there. Do like the lights, WWE logo, things like that. But we're gone. See you later. Goodbye. Let's start it off with these Raw letters, as that was a huge selling point of this. A lot of people, of course, building out their arenas, new gen arenas, things like that. And we did get the letters here. Now, at first I was a little confused, and I had to look into the plastic. It's very hidden on the bottom, especially in the box, were the backing plates here, the backing panels for the letters. So that is a nice thing. Help them stay up, because without that, they're not staying up. And even with that, there's going to be some trouble having these guys stay up, and I'll get into that here in a second. But we do got the R, of course, for Raw. Nice red color. It does have a little sculpting, some like dings and dents in it, just like the letters had back in the day, of course. We do get the A. We're spelling it out here. A, or R, A. What does that spell? And then we got the W, and I don't know. It could be my table. It could just be mine. Mine's a little bit finicky, this W. It is a little bit hard to stand. What worked for me is flipping this peg in the back upside down around. So you might have to play on it with it, depending on how your table is. I might just have a little bit of lean going on. Who knows? But that was the best way for my W to stand up. Yours may be different. But you can see right there, there's the letters together. Very, very cool. Scale comparison, you can see that. There's Razor against it. Very, very cool. This does work. This is a nice little touch. A little nice Easter egg with this set here. And there's more and more people, toy photographers, diorama, ring arena builders out there that this can come in handy for. And it's a very easy thing to do, seemingly, and it goes a long way for a lot of collectors. So very cool. Wanted to point these out, talk about these a little bit, as I know it is a selling point to a lot of people for that. But now let's dive into the figures. And at the end of the day, that's what I care about the most, is the figures. That's cool and all, but how are the figures? And we're going to start it off with old Razor Ramon. I don't know why, we're just going to do it. So we're going to start with Razor, and Razor gets all the extra hands here. We do get the 2 thumbs up, like a young Hacksaw Jim Duggan, or maybe one of those things, but we do have the thumbs on Razor. Then we get the splayed out hands, so you can do the Scott Hall Razor Ramon walk if you need to, so we do have those, very fitting for him, of course. And then, by the numbers, gripping hands here. You do have those for Razor. So, choose your own hand adventure, as we always say. We'll probably say it again in this very video. But then we get down to old Razor Ramon. How about that? And this is basically, I believe, the 3rd incarnation of Razor Ramon in the Elite line. This whole set, a lot of reuse, but it does make sense. It is different outfit for Razor. Razor had quite a few different outfits, as we do know. This is a very good one. You got the green vest in the front, the black on the back, Razor Ramon, of course. You got the Razor trunks with Razor in the front, the Razor blades on the back, the Razor blade elbow pad there on the left, and then a regular black one on the right. Razor knee pads here, then you get the green boots. Just really, really Razor Ramon as we remember him in his green. A little nitpicky here, and I always say I am by no means a memory expert of people's outfits, but it feels a little weird that the greens from the boot and every other green here do not match. So we get a little we basically get 3 different green colors throughout this Razor Ramon. You get a color in his vest, a color in his trunks and his knee pads, and then a color in his boots. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct, but it does look a little crazy. So if he did wear this in all actuality back in the day on Raw, he should have matched his greens a little bit better, but it is a little bit weird, and it does catch my eye a little bit. We do get the patented Razor Ramon chains, which are always nice. Always good to see those with Razor. And then you get the nice painted-on chest hair. Mattel, I dare ya. Go the Jax route. Let's get real fur chest hair one of these days. I want to see it. Do it as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. What do we got to do? But I'd love to see that one day, just to kind of laugh about it. But it does look really good for Razor. Of course, articulation-wise, arms do go all the way around. You do get the bicep cut. Double-jointed pinless elbows, have to imagine. Yes, indeed. So we're playing all the hits here, and that is an update to the prior Razor Ramones. Going to be an update prior to the prior 1-2-3 kit as well. Hands removal, as we said, back and forth, side to side. Waist articulation, ab crunch, head back and forth. And then you do get the big old Razor Ramon splits if he needs to jump over the 1-2-3 kid for whatever reason. You do get a thigh cut, double-jointed knees. Hard to see in there, but we do got pins in there, but they are double jointed. You get the boot cut, then you get the ankles. Very, very tight ankles on this whole Razor here. Head sculpt, like I said, a very old Razor Ramon head sculpt. It's one we've seen in the past. It does work to me, but it does look more, I don't know, it does look different. We'll just say it looks different than some of the modern stuff with the true effects and things like that, but it still works for me, and there's definitely a place for things like this, at least in my collection. But a very, very cool looking Razor Ramon. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. What do you know, he fits on there. I knew he would. I knew he would. But we got Razor right there. A couple Razor comparisons. The previous Legend Wave. And then you got the old school Defining Moments one. Very, very cool Razor Ramon in all of his different colors here. They do look very, very good. We do know we have a Razor Ramon Ultimate Edition just around the corner, so stay tuned for that review on the channel here in the next, I don't know, 2 months or so. What is time anymore? But very cool. A lot of Scott Hall, a lot of Razor Ramon fans out there that I think are going to get a lot of enjoyment on this one. I, of course, am going to change the hands up and make all their hands different to make them as different as possible. That's what I always want to do when I got very similar figures in my collection. But Razor Ramon looking pretty good. One of the big ones of this pack. And I guess if we're talking Razor, we better go to that kid, that pesky kid. Let's reenact that diaper match. Can we do that? But we got the 1, 2, 3 kid, of course. And he comes with the most accessories of anybody in this pack, which is very cool. I guess we'll go off easy. We'll start with his hands. He's got 2 Fists of Fury. If the kid wants to fire up, he's ready to go. 1, 2, 3 kid was always interesting because I remember when he came to the WWF as a little kid watching the GWF on ESPN after school. I remember him as the Lightning Kid and all his matches with Jerry Lynn. Wasn't there like a bungee cord? That was when bungee jumping was brand new. There was like a bungee cord match. I remember being so hyped up to see that when I was a little kid. So it's very interesting how you know some of these characters, and I've told you guys numerous times about The Undertaker, how I, of course, knew him as Mean Mark first. We get hands, and he's got 2 gripping hands here. Gonna have to use the gripping hands on this because of all the accessories with him. Very cool. You do get the $10,000 money bag. Very cool. It's a lot like a Jake the Snake Roberts snake bag, a little bit smaller. I have to say, though, I got a big complaint here, Mattel. You guys pulled a little superpowers on me, and you guys know those Kenner. I wish they were Kenner, but they're McFarlane superpower figures right now. One of the biggest gripes I had about that was the cape, of course. They had the little strip there through that you had to cut through the cape. Unfortunately, we have that same issue with this bag. It is locked through there. You have to cut it. It puts a hole in the back of the bag. Do not like that at all. Yes, it's very hard to see. Yes, it's on the back, but it's still there. It's a damaged product right out of the package. It's very nitpicky, I know, but there's got to be a better way to secure something like this. Even if it's tape. I don't like tape usually because it does tear off a little fibers sometimes, but I would rather have that than the hole in the bag. Nobody wants that hole in the bag. Nobody wants a hole in their bag. It's pretty much common. I don't care if we're talking a grocery sack or a $10,000 money bag, but it is a very cool idea. I do like that. Then we get the money like a young Ted DiBiase, the old $1 million man. And I used to have a buddy who was grandpa when we were kids. His dad would always, or his grandpa would always say, that Ted DiBiase, he could be the WWE champion, WWF at the time, if he just wasn't so caught up in the money. That money's just getting in the way. If he could just put that money to the side, he would be world champion. I know he has the attributes to do it. And we used to just kind of laugh on the back about his grandpa because his grandpa was dead serious about it. It was very funny. And don't even get me started about my dad and Ted DiBiase's dad. Oh, we've talked about that before. There's a lot of heat there. All these years later, they're still not getting along. But we do get the money here with old 1, 2, 3 kid. Very, very cool. Now, I am very happy to report, and this is the little touches, the little details that really go a long way with somebody like me. First time I saw these, oh, very cool. They're getting reuse out of the Cameron Grimes Ringside Collectible Exclusive money. We got that with Cameron Grimes last year as an exclusive, his NXT figure. I thought that was very, very cool. However, it is the same mold, but this is where Mattel did not cheap out at all. They gave us different money. It looks totally different. These are all the same. Cameron Grimes, totally different bills on there. So I do like the idea. You got $100 bills on this one. You got $20 bills on this one. I think that is a very nice touch that, honestly, they didn't even have to do. They could have just reused one of these or just reused this a bunch of time, called it good. Nobody would really complain. The bills maybe not adding up, but I do think that is a nice attention to detail on Mattel. So we have an issue like this, but then they go above and beyond on an issue like this. So very, very cool. Wanted to point that out, let everybody know the money is actually different. Looks really cool, and you got 4 of them here with the old 1, 2, 3 kid. So very cool there. Now we get down to the old 1, 2, 3 kid figure. Old Sean Waltman himself, no stranger to action figures, as we do know. We've had a lot of X-Pacs, but it's been a while since we've had a 1, 2, 3 kid figure. Looking really good. Once again, you got the old head scan being used. He always looked, this head scan to me always looks like he had like a bunch of nuts in his mouth. Like he's a squirrel hoarding nuts for the winter or something like out in my backyard. But he's always got kind of that pouch there. He's got a big thing of chaw in there, or maybe some bazooka bubblegum. Who knows? But he always kind of had that look to me. But you got the nice hair flowing down. Got the beautiful mullet. A mullet you could set your watch to. It was the times, after all. Never had a mullet. I've never had one. Maybe one of these days, maybe sooner than later. Who knows? but it does look good. You know who this is, at least I do if I see this. Head is removable very easily on this figure as well. Articulation going to be same as Razor. Arms go around, bicep cut. Gotta imagine, yep, double jointed pinless elbows playing the hits. That is an update. He's got big hands. His hands are a little bit big for his body, I gotta be honest. A little bit oversized there, but you can make it work. Hands are, of course, removable. Got the waist articulation, a little loose in that waist. Very tight in the ab crunch. Big old 1, 2, 3 kid splits. Of course, you got the double jointed knees. They are pinned. You got the black knee pads, boot cut, ankles back and forth, up and down. Very vibrant color here. You got the blue, got the lightning effect. You got the L kid. He's the L kid. The loser kid? What is your name here? But of course, it's the L kid, the lightning kid. Off to the races with his career, of course, with his feud with Razor Ramon. I know he never forgot that ever in his life. And I know he appreciates Razor, Scott Hall, to this day. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%, and what do you know? He fits as well. A nice little update, and it's a nice way to get a character like this back in the line through a 3-pack like this. And like I said, I'm hopeful for more 3-packs like this in the future from Mattel. We'll see what happens. We do see Amazon. We unboxed the Beast Incarnate versus Tribal Chief 3-pack just recently. We have this one. What does the future hold? Have to think WrestleMania Access will get some ideas, if not sooner than that. I forgot to compare it to the other 1, 2, 3 kid. I should probably do that quick. Similar but different, I would say. Same head sculpt, of course. Same everything. Just different paint job. Not too shabby, though. It's a nice little update. And there's a lot of people, of course, that don't have that old 1, 2, 3 kid because it's probably an 8-year-old figure at this point. So it's a way to get that back out, plus some updates for longtime collectors like myself and probably you. Now we turn our attention over to the old dead man, the old Undertaker. A lot of people are going to say the all-star of this pack. A lot of Undertaker fans out there, as we do know. We do get extra hands. He's got his Undertaker kind of magical hands going on. Got that doing there. Then we got the gripping hands for Taker. No fists for Taker. He's not throwing any fist on this night at Monday Night Raw. We do get the Taker hat. Nice black hat, of course. Very Undertaker, very Dead Man Taker time frame going on. This one does not feel terribly new, and outside of the head, looking at this for the first time, it reminds me just a lot of the Legend one we got not too long ago. He does got a little rubber band around his chest, and they did do that with Razor as well. They wanted to keep Razor's chains down. They wanted to keep his tie down. Looking out for the men-on-card collectors is what they're doing right there. But this is a pretty easy repaint of The Undertaker. Like I said, we've seen that numerous times. It is The Undertaker in all of his glory of 1993. Black and gray, very little color to the character. Got a nice soft goods coat here. I'm not sure what material it is. It's not like cloth. It's not like bathrobe. But it's an interesting feeling material. Yeah, but we do have that with that. Same thing with the tie. Tie always looks good. Has one of those kind of soft rubber bands around it to keep it intact. The big selling point on this one, though, is The Undertaker with the hair down in his face. That is a first-time head sculpt. Very cool to see this. A lot of Taker fans going to want this. And I can see people moving this head throughout different Undertakers in their collection. But very good-looking Taker. It is really Taker by the numbers, early 1990s is what this reminds me of. Of course, articulation is going to be identical to all those other guys, so I don't really need to walk that. We walked through it twice, the same articulation. But a very good head. I really do like this. Even the eyes on this one, which is really tough to see because you have to pull the hair out of the way, it does look really good, the old eyes on this. Very cool. Of course, you're going to have to straighten him out a little bit. His collar's a little crazy on mine, but that can be fixed, as we do know. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle, as I always say. Of course he does. Of course he does. He fits right there perfectly. And then I grabbed this one here. Now I'm not sure which Taker this is. I think this is the right Taker. Well, I grabbed a Taker. This is a little bit different. Similar but different, we'll call it. You got black gloves on this one, gray on this one. This is more of a pleather coat, where this is more of a soft, good, strange feeling coat. Of course, the hats, I believe, are not similar. They're not the same. Different sculpting on the hats on these. So there is some differences there. There's enough differences to matter, but I don't know. It might not be for everybody. I mean, how many versions of this Taker do you want? That being said, Taker, one of the all-time greats, one of the most favorite wrestlers of all time, so I think there is demand for that. Of course, Razor and the Kid as well. I think there's a lot of good going for this set, and I hope to see more things like this in the future. Give us a Nitro set. I'm still holding out. I just can't believe Mattel has not made a Bash at the Beach 3-pack of Scott Hall, of course, Kevin Nash, and Hulk Hogan. I think that is a slam dunk. I would love to see that one of these days. Heck, throw Mean Gene in there, too, if you have to. Would love to see that. But a very good Undertaker. To me, he's the weakest link of this pack just because it just doesn't feel as different. I do love this brand new head sculpt, though. I will say that. But I do like Razor probably the most because of the green color than the Kid. I think this is a really good 2-pack. These two really go hand in hand in a set like this. And Undertaker, of course, being in the first main event of the first ever episode of Raw, which, as I said, January 11th, 1993, we're about 30 years to the day as of dropping this video. Very, very cool thing that Mattel did here to put this pack out at the right time. And I would love to see more anniversary packs like that. Maybe a Hell in the Cell pack, 25th anniversary. Who knows? We'll see what happens with all that as well. But what say you guys out there in YouTube land? You picking up this Raw 3-pack? You going to Target? You picking it up? Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this pack. Of course, you made it this far. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. You guys know we got videos every single day. We got the brand new Legend set. We got this set, of course. We got Elite 100 as well on the channel. A lot going on very, very soon, and we'll have all the other stuff that you guys are accustomed to. A lot of stuff on the channel on a daily basis, and even more content for you on the Patreon. Early access to videos, bonus content, giveaways, Q&As, you name it, and best of all, you do support the channel. You can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com, and then don't forget about social media. SirPaul64 is where you're going to find me on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for Raw is War, 30th anniversary, I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.